How's it going? Dating comic book investments. It's funny. I'm doing this over. I was starting and I forgot to push the record. So that's kind of weird. I was just like halfway through and I'm like, did I hit record? And I look over, I'm like, nope, I didn't. So, but I haven't had any technical issues so far with this system because now I have a new laptop. Well, it's not new, but it's like new to me. And it's always plugged in, always has the sound stuff all ready to go. Before, I'd always have to disconnect things, reconnect for every video. So liking this new setup. But anyways, got some stuff back from CGC. This is not everything I got back. I get way more than this. But if you head over to collectorscomics.com, my website, you will see all the stuff that I got in this week. And every week I get stuff in. I don't think I've ever missed a week. So, but yeah, way more than this. But there's sometimes I just like to pick and choose things. You know, I might have some good stuff, but I'm like expensive stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to. I've talked about this like a million times. Like, I don't, you know, I like to bring in, I guess, kind of fresh things or maybe things that spike some kind of interest or something. I don't know. So here we go. Amazing Adventures number 1. I thought this would be a 9.6, got a 9.4, 179, which is kind of, it's interesting. This is only $179. It's a start of a series. Now, obviously, it's not like the best series everyone's clamoring to get, but a start of a series. It's from 1970, and for 9.4, only $179. Yeah, just interesting. Not very expensive. And next, we got this Avengers 12. I thought it'd be a 9.0. I got an 8.0, 289. Man, that back looks amazing. I definitely don't think it's an 8.0. I think it could be maybe an 8.5. Wonder if this is worth resending in. I don't know. I'll have to look at it more carefully. And I also have to. I already looked at this. That probably is 8.5, but it's probably like the price is not really worth sending in because, again, you know, it costs money to send it in. So it's like shipping there and back, all this kind of stuff. And then it's like, what if you don't get it? Things like that. So sometimes it's not really worth it. Or it's like, okay, I can risk $50 sending it in. And if it does get the grade bump, it's like $75 bump or $100 bump. And you're like, it's not really worth it. Silver Surfer number 2. That'd be 9.0, got 9.2. So good there. 379. When I was a kid, this is the only one I had, a Silver Surfer. Why I had number 2? Don't know. Have no idea. I can't remember what was going on in my tiny little brain that I decided to get a Silver Surfer 2. Or maybe my dad just gave me. Sometimes he just give me comic books. Maybe he gave me a Silver Surfer 2. I don't know. But that was the one I had. It's not Mark Bagley. I'm trying to read this signature. I don't know who it is. But there is a signature on here. Ultimate Fallout 4. I was watching trailers of that new Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2, with Miles Morales and Spider-Man for PlayStation 5. Looks really, really fun. Open world type thing. If I had time and a PlayStation 5, I'd play it. I have PlayStation 4, but I literally haven't turned that thing on. And I think the last time I turned it on was like during the pandemic COVID thing, and everyone was locked inside. And I got the PlayStation, whatever, Now, or I forget what it's called, where you can just basically play a bunch of games. And that's when I turn it on. Every single time I turn it on, it's always just like, oh, I got to do hours of updates. I'm like, oh my God. I remember the old days, the good old days, you know, when I could just have a game. I put it into the Nintendo. I mean, got to blow on it first. Put it in the Nintendo. Works. No uploads, no downloads, no nothing. Just play. Now, every time I turn on the game, it's like, oh, I got to download some patch. Oh, I got to update your system. I'm like, I just want to play the game. I don't care if it's the old version. I don't care if it has the bad bugs in it. I just want to play it. I played it before. I just want to play it again. And then it's like 2 hours, and I'm like, never mind. I just turn it off. Ultimate Fallout 4. 8.5. 4.29. with a signature that I don't know who it is. So that's why it has a green label. Wolverine #1. Not the most expensive book, $9.2, but I know people out there like it. $79. Then we got X-Men #5. Third Magneto, second appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, such as Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Came back Creators Home for $5.49. Omega Men #1. I got a bunch of these. This is just one of them. All different grades. Thought it'd be 9.6 and 9.8. Got the 9.6. 119. This book has kind of dropped quite a bit. I did in one of my dropping videos. I remember when this like first got the huge spike, and I told everyone, I was like, sell this book, sell it. And obviously, you know, it went up and it's coming back down. It'll level out at a certain place, and then, but you're not going to see, like, that's the thing. It's like these announcements happen and it gets hot. I don't know if if people just want it, and so they go out there and buy it, or if it's like a general want, like, oh, Lobo, yeah, I remember that character. Like, oh, they're making a movie, cool, so I'll buy its first appearance. Oh, Omega Man, you know, #3. Okay, I'll go buy it. Oh, it's, you know, I don't mind paying a little more for it. That's totally fine. That's understandable. But if there's people out there be like, oh, movie's coming out, I'm gonna flip this for more money when it finally does come out. You're going to be waiting, if it does come out, if, it's a big if. All the DC movies have been losing lots and lots of money. They might, I know they have rethought what they're going to do, and they hired James Gunn, but maybe the executives like, we don't want to risk it anymore. Who knows? I don't know. The people with the money, maybe they changed their mind. Maybe they're like, no, we got to make more, you know, was it Super Mario Brothers and Barbie made like a ton of money. More movies like that, not superheroes. Superheroes are dead. I don't know. They could think that. But in any case, I don't know if it's people like, I'm going to buy it now for a bunch of money, and then I'm going to wait for it to maybe come out, and then I'm going to sell it for more money. Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore. Those times have long since gone. But I told everyone to sell it because here's the thing. There's a lot of copies, nice copies of this. So supply and demand. Just look no further than that Spawn 306. Ah, yes. You know, one of them I actually broke even on, and one I lost a lot of money on because I bought it when I literally had the only copy that was photographed. So I made my video. And so I had to spend a lot of money to get it, and it was not that high of a grade. But all of a sudden, a bunch more come out in the market, it drops the price. So supply and demand, just remember that. That's the fate of modern comic books as well. Did I already do this one? Yes, I already did it. Sandman #1. There we go. I always like the art of these because, so this right here, this is a painting, and then this is real pictures. Or, sorry, it's a photograph of real items. Very cool. You can buy the whole thing. It's like that thick. Whole thing, sorry. If you buy the original art, which is very rare, and very expensive. It's like this thick. So it's like that. So it's like the paintings on the inside, and then these are kind of actually out a little bit, but it looks like it's centered, or the same depth as the picture. That even might be, yeah, I think that's like a shadow of this right over here. But very cool. I thought the way they did it was very unique and stuff. But yeah, I started watching this series, and I liked it. I just never finished it. I keep on saying like, oh yeah, I forgot about it. I need to finish it. Never did. I thought you 9.4 got 9.6, 265. X-Men Annual 14. So, a little controversy with this one. So, I believe, if I can remember correctly, it'll probably tell me. Yes. So, Gambit appears in this comic book. Now, if I remember correctly, he appears in 2 panels. People have argued, is that a cameo? and I think that is a cameo. I think it's 2 panels, or is it a whole page? I'm trying to remember it now. I know one's big splash panel, he's like standing there. Another one, he's like kind of in the background. Or maybe it's 2 pages, he's like briefly in the background or something. Anyways, some people argue, oh, it's not a cameo. Kind of is, I would think. But anyways, so this predates X-Men 14, but I believe how it works is, even though this predates it, the other one was made first, or this one was made first but released after. Now I can't even remember. I'm all confused. I did it in one of my videos, and I've since forgotten. X-Men Annual 14. I thought it'd be 9.8, got 9.6, $89. But I was a big Gambit fan, so I had that one and 266. I had multiple 266 when I was a kid. Yeah, I remember I must have been 17. I would go on, maybe even 16, and I'd go on eBay and I'd like buy comic books. And I remember thinking, like, back then I was like, oh, these are going to be a great investment. I should find certain ones that I can afford. So I'd buy Spider-Man 300s and X-Men 266. And I remember getting Spider-Man 300s for like $80. But at the time, I really didn't know much about like restoration. And some of them were like color touched later when I sold them after I knew about them. I was like, oh man, I got screwed. But that, it's what happens when you don't know much. Batman Killing Joke, thought it'd be 9.8, got 9.6, 109. Invincible number 2. Can't wait for the series to come out. Season 2, that is. Thought it'd be 9.6, got 9.8. So 6.19. Number 4. Thought it'd be 9.8, got 9.6, 109. This book, what a disappointment. Anything with Riri, terrible disappointment. Everything just fell apart. Did not pan out how I thought it would pan out. Yeah, I think it's canceled. Or the man doing? I don't even know why they would do it. She looked terrible, and she was not a fan favorite at all. In what was it, Black Panther 2? Oh, that. Bad, just bad, all bad. $89. $89 for this book. $89. Man, if you would have won a couple of years ago, it'd be worth way more than that. Yeah. And then finally, we got this cool book, Space Jam. First one, the best one. And it's a newsstand, $6.99. That is it. Like I said, all stuff on my website, collectorscomics.com. Don't forget, we are accepting consignments for our upcoming auction. That's going to happen in a month and a half. So we have about 2 weeks left to send in your consignments. So send them in. Just go over to collectorscomics.com. There'll be pages to click everywhere. You can sign, just type in your stuff that you want to send it to us. We'll get it listed. This will be our 8th one. So have a good day.